What's up YouTube, it's Todd Horst here with Tasty Tracker. Small update today on the small account challenge. I was right, it was around 3,200, and then with the dip in the market in the afternoon, down about 150 bucks, so right around 30.50. So the only position I put on today was SE. This trade came from one of the members on the site who published their trade, and I took a look at it and really liked their idea. They had strikes a little bit higher, and I think their strikes and my strikes will be fine. SE has had a long run up, and we're right here at this support line, so we can see we got rejected here, came back down, and we're able to, well, right here we got rejected again, but then eventually we came up over, and now it's going to act as support. Combine that with the 20-day SMA here, the purple line, acting as support for the next day or two. It'll come right in line nicely. So I think that was a good position. I got the 105, 110, which means I sold the 110. So let's go back to the chart here. So that puts me somewhere in this ballpark. Ooh, go up a hair. There we go. So somewhere in here is, so I have my sold leg right below what I believe to be support. Of course, support doesn't necessarily mean anything. It can drop right through that if it wants to. But I think we are potentially at a good spot here for an ad. Of course, you don't know whether today's drop is going to have a continuation tomorrow and the next day, or if it was just a sell-off for today. That's sort of the risk you play when you try to get in too early into plays. And the longer dated your expirations and the more conservative as far as in the money your strikes are, the more wiggle room you have to work with. Unfortunately, I put these on for August, so we only have 39 more days here. That could come back to bite me, even though we still have a bit of a buffer zone. But yeah, I think we'll be okay. So let's just go over each position where we're at right now. In my other account, my SPY calls that I put in at the low, we're at 1,000% gain. So I have different ones here, but these ones they were probably up to 700 today when we had peaked out. So Sedge was looking hairy there for a second, but it looks fine now. Disney. Now Disney got good news on Friday that they had opened up Disney World. Bad news today that they're closing down. Was it Japan or one of the other Disney Worlds? I think the first one that opened up is going to close down again, or at least that's what the rumor was. Apple looks good. MA, yeah, this one keeps going in and out of being on the cusp. We sold the 300. We had gotten back up 300 last week, and now we're back down to 290. So let's just pull this chart up, see what it looks like. Right. So right now we closed below the 20 and the 50 day, which isn't great. However, I would say again that we're at sort of a support level. So it really depends on what the market does from here. If the market as a whole continues to go down, then we could see something like this. But if we sort of stay stagnant, I think we'll be fine. But that is one that's on the edge. If we get close to expiration, we'll say into August, so what are we? We're at 713. So in the next 2 weeks, if we are still hovering around this 290 to 300 channel, then I'll end up closing it for a scratch, just because I don't want to risk it going too far by waiting too long to close the position, my odds then are more likely that it's going to end unfavorably for me because I have less time to work with. Right. I hope that made sense. Okay, so W had some bad news. I'm not sure if he's the current founder, CEO or whatever, but one of the people involved in Wayfair was not good news. So that, of course, I was expecting to be down today. It was down hard, 130 bucks. However, you can see from the diagram that we're still in a good position. We sold the 175, and right now it's trading at 210. So definitely some wiggle room. I'm not sure how much that news, I would have assumed today and maybe tomorrow we'll have all of that news priced in. I would assume by today it was all priced in. One can hope. SE is the new position we put on. Of course, we're already down 55 bucks. Hold on, let me shut this door. Okay, so just like I said, I had gotten lower strikes than what the one member had, and so you definitely, if you put this position on now, you could get better strikes, and I would go for the 100, 105. If you wanted to put that position on, that's definitely up to you. And then Shop. Shop is right on the cusp. They really took a downturn today, down 6%. Is that? SC was down 6, W was down 6. So those three were my worst plays today. So we sold the 955 and it's at 968. Still would be profitable if we exited today. As far as if the expiration was tomorrow, we'd be fine because we're in the green zone. However, as you can see, I can't close it out tomorrow or anything like that. I'm down 30%. Yeah, so let's pull up SPY. A lot of the chatter in the forums that I get in routinely, was talking about, is it time for puts? Did we top out? For me, this is just all continuation of this channel that we've been in from 300 to 320. We got rejected back here at 324, something like that, and today we got rejected at 324. That's not coincidence. When you hit these highs and you keep bumping up against the ceiling, people are taking profits at that point, and then you'll get a hard sell-off. The more times you keep bumping into the ceiling, the more likely it is to break through. So this chart doesn't scare me at all. That doesn't mean we won't go down in the next day or two or three. I certainly expect that we can, but we've already established really good support down here at 300. Of course, to get there, we would have to break through the 20-day, but that's not as big of an indicator as the 50-day SMA is. So, and right now 50 days sitting around 305. So, yeah, once we get down to 305, if we break through that, then that's cause for concern. But from my perspective, getting the whole way down to 305 is well within the normal and expected for this channel that we're currently sitting in now. So definitely, from my perspective, I'm not concerned at all, but I think you have to keep a level head, and I've said before, and I'll continue to say, if you're in a bear market, then you should primarily be playing bearish positions. I believe we're in a bull market, so I'm going to play primarily or exclusively bull positions. When we have down plays or down days, that's a good opportunity to make money by putting on positions if you still believe there's strength in the market. If you're uncertain, then you slow down the pace at which you enter and you put on more conservative positions, as in percentage in the money, and you can go out further. I did sort of say I'm stacked up for August, so I definitely won't be entering in anything more in August. I've got 2,000 allocated out of the 3,000 accounts, so I am a little bit heavier than I would have liked for the August. I let my trading get away from me a little bit there, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. But all in all, I think I'm still in pretty good shape. But definitely going forward, it will be for September or later. And some of these ones that are on the bubble, if we don't show a recovery this week and next week, I'll be looking to close those off for a scratch. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.